Wow, what a time and a place to be doing a revisit on a subject. I'm going to wait and make sure that this thing's actually up and going. It looks like it is. Well, let's see if we get a couple of folks on here so I know it. We're already almost 30 seconds in. I don't know if this is going up or not. Well, I'll go ahead and do it anyway, and if it doesn't work, well, I'll take it down and start again later. It's Friday night, the 12th of November, 2021, and I did a little thing earlier today. It was, oh, there we go. I guess we are just not 5x5 grade. I know the lighting's not real good, but I'm doing this. It's the only place I could find with. I'm out with some friends, and I decide after I got some information, I thought I needed to do a little update. So I hope you all don't mind. A little earlier today, I did a live stream, and I did it on. Part of it was on this whole subject on Divoc, the reverse of that word, right? And I'm really up on a lot of things, Kabbalah, of course, Hebrew and ancient stuff. Great to see the broadcast. Well, that's good. But obviously I don't know everything. And what I did, let me tell you the story so that you know what happened here. I saw this situation where they were saying that devock is Hebrew for basically an evil spirit that's possessing you. Basically, that's what it is. And frankly, I'd never heard of that before. I knew the word as being a something that clings, or cleaves to something, or clings to something, like I explained in Genesis, where it says that for this cause shall a man leave his mother and father and or cleave unto his wife, and they shall be one, right? I wasn't really sure of that. I knew about the different parts of evil spirits, like the one with Saul, and of course the familiar spirits and things like that. I'm talking Old Testament, not New. And I was aware of things like clipotes and shadim and things like that in the demonic explanations of and the evil forces of Kabbalah. Frankly, I'd never heard of a Dybbuk. Apparently, I was, even though I looked it up today, I saw before I did my video, I did a little search, and I found where it had been starting to talk about it around in August, and it didn't look like it was really too well researched. So at any rate, I went with just the biblical understanding of what Dybbuk means, right? And that's what I did earlier today. So then I got some information from some very well researched people that I've dealt with before, who are looking at things from other angles. And they said, well, no, actually, the idea of a Dybbuk is something that's in Jewish folklore. And I went, you're kidding. And so, but it's not biblical, okay? it's not biblical at all. And I kind of made that caveat when I was doing the live stream today. I said, I'm not aware of anything biblically where this matches up, which is why I did what I did. Not putting out that there couldn't be other occultic things, but I just wasn't aware of it, having gone through and studied some of this stuff later. But apparently, it starts around the Lurianic time in Jewish Kabbalism and Jewish folklore, which are right around the 16th century. And hi, Roosevelt. And I'm doing this real quick, Roosevelt, because I found out something. You'll see this here. And I'll do a follow-up, probably more on it later. I put it on the pinned tweet and the description box in the Divoc video that I did earlier, and I also put it out on Twitter. So when I find out that I may not know what I think I know, I want you to know that I'm willing to say that. Okay, I'm still not certain, due to phonetic things and other aspects of this, that we're still talking about the devock being just the reverse of the word COVID, that it really does mean the Hebrew Dybbuk. I'm not convinced of that. Those kinds of things can happen even in the English language. For instance, you look at evil, the word evil, evil, and the reverse of it is live. All right. it doesn't mean that that's going to happen all the time, and it doesn't really mean a whole lot unless you have some other corroborative evidence, right? Well, anyway, so this little thing on this acronym COVID, and then having it be a Hebrew word devock, it really wasn't the same, because devock, even though you can do the b sound with a v sound, you're not getting Dybbuk from Divoc or devock. All right, you're just not. However, yeah, I'll need to see Stu Peters again. Somebody else told me that Sheila Zielinski was on today and said that I should look at that. Anyway, back to the subject at hand. So, I don't want to lose power here. Hold on. Let me plug this in, or we're going to lose. I've got a plug here in the car. If I can find it. We're definitely going to lose power. I hope you all don't mind me doing this. My point of coming back on is that I really don't see. I'm not saying it isn't possible, but I'm really not. I really wouldn't see the evil NWO and the evil influences using a folklore term from the 16th century to send a hidden message in the reverse of COVID, going to devock, or devoke, which some people say is Dybbuk. I can understand the consonant equivalence. I understand what you're saying, but I'm not sure that's really what's going on. Okay, because of that, I'm not. It's just 16th century folklore, even though it's right around the Lurianic era. I'm not sure, but I did want you to know that the Dybbuk name is in Jewish folklore. That, with the information I got from some people that were helping on this, and very kindly, so they didn't jump on me for saying, "Hey, dummy, what about this?" So the Dybbuk thing is apparently in Jewish folklore. It kind of bled over into Lurianic Kabbalah a little later, but it wasn't a big issue. They were still talking about the Shadim and the Klippot and things like that, which I could get into later, but that's not really an issue. So I just wanted to clarify that Dybbuk is from Jewish folklore starting about the 16th century, and it does have an idea of being a clinging, evil or lost spirit. And apparently it did take some sort of exorcism in the folklore to get rid of it, and of course there are other reasons for this. But the point is that Dybbuk is in fact a medieval redefinition of the biblical term Dybbuk, which you find in the first chapter of Genesis, or actually it's the second chapter of Genesis, where it talks about a man shall leave his father and mother and cleave. That's the word Dybbuk to his wife. So it's, in my estimation, it's a corruption. But it certainly is in the Jewish folklore of the 16th century. So I wanted to make sure that you understood that I know that. The people that pointed that out apparently got this information, and the reason why it got onto Alex Jones and several other places because of the 16th century term. But I'm not convinced that that's really what's going on with the reverse of COVID. There's some other problems with that. Not only the pronunciation and those things, but as I pointed out with meta earlier, with the Greek term meta and the Hebrew term muth, meta does not mean death in Hebrew. So sometimes you have to be careful trying to correlate those, because they really don't. So that's all I wanted to say tonight, to just let you know that I stand corrected, that Dybbuk is in fact a 16th century Jewish folklore term for a clinging spirit, or you could even say possession. Not quite, but that's really kind of what it is. But that is not the original biblical use of the term, nor is it descriptive of the original biblical use, and I'm talking about the Hebrew Bible, of evil spirits or familiar spirits. It's not the same. So this was something that came around quite a bit later than the biblical story, and so that's, even though I know Kabbalah, this one was new on me. So I just wanted you all to know that. Okay. All right. Dr. Kim did a great message with meta. Yeah, well, whatever. All right, so I just wanted to clear that up so you know about it. and we'll just go from there. Uh, the the fact that the idea though that these evil folks would use that reverse name for this, I'm just not I'm not convinced of that because of the circumstances of, like I just mentioned, the type of acronyms that we have and things like that. It's not always going to be like that. What was this now? Rolf Steiner. Some translations of the Bible say 606 instead of 666. That's interesting. I wasn't aware of that either. Let's see what's going on here. Yeah, the main attack is coming now. We're going to get hit for it. Kilroy Jones says the book box houses the demon. I'm not sure what you mean by that, but at any rate. Oh, that's the other thing. Yeah, this thing that we've talked about with the attachments that may be going on. That also doesn't quite match up with the idea of possession or of being controlled by an evil spirit. That doesn't quite match up either. That's another reason why I was concerned about it. Okay, another point. All right. Okay. Yeah, it's late. I know it's late here too. Okay, I won't take up any more of your time. I just wanted to clear that up so that everybody would know that I see what they're talking about now, and it's not biblical Hebrew. Okay, they're not using that. They're using a 16th century kind of occultic, uh, almost abbreviation for it. That's how they picked it up. But it really does corrupt the original biblical Hebrew, and that's really sad. All right, that's really sad. But it's typical. I mean, look what certain social movements in our culture have used. They've taken the rainbow and absconded with it, things like that, and corrupted it. So it doesn't surprise me that the 16th century would have corrupted this and used a very important term about being associated with somebody else very closely, that they would turn it into something to do with an evil spirit. Doesn't really surprise me at all. Okay. All right. Just want to let you know that I knew about that, and I appreciate the people that took the extra effort and showed me some of the other sources that explain some of this information. Yeah, exactly, Rolf Steiner. Exactly. Yeah, I know. But it's still the same thing. It's still the same thing. All right. You all take care. Thanks a lot, and we'll talk to you later.